are you serving in a way to where 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 hours of your week is you actually giving people the value that you're charging them for? If so, you've got it set up wrong. You have it set up wrong.
This is Secrets for Success.
Welcome to the Secrets for Success podcast. I'm your host, Greg Todd. Thank you as always for joining me. Today's episode is going to be just a reminder episode, an encouragement episode of you all following through with building value that is not exclusively you trading all your time for money and you physically being in front of someone. Guys, I'm just thinking of something that happened this past weekend and opportunities that have now presented itself because I did something this weekend. And it would not have happened if I didn't take to heart and implement and execute what it is that I've just told you that I want you to do for yourself. And so I'm going to share with you like what happened this weekend. And then maybe on the episode that I do later on this week, I will share with you like step by step what happened from that opportunity. Okay. But that opportunity would not have happened had I not done the training that I did this past weekend. And I would not have done the training that I did this past weekend if I didn't change the way that I fulfill for people. And the way that I fulfill for people is me not exclusively trading all of my physical time with them. Now, it's not saying I don't. Like this podcast comes out on Tuesday. Right now, as you're listening to this podcast, there's a high probability that I'm actually doing a 5-hour private consulting with a client. Okay. But that's very far and few between of what it is that I do. And if I am going to do it, I'm going to make people pay a sizable amount of money. And I do that because I have had to train myself and I've had to unlearn the fact that the only value that Greg can give is if Greg is physically in front of somebody and it's just me one at a time, which is what I was trained and indoctrinated in school. Okay. And that's not serving you and that's not going to do well for you long term. And so I just want to remind you guys that there is a way to do that. Okay. 90% of what I do today and the way that I give value in how people pay me is in a one-to-many setting. It is in a group setting. Like as soon as I finish this podcast, I'm going to go and I'm going to do a coaching call. The coaching call is probably going to have 20 to 40 people on. It's a group setting. All right. After I do the coaching call, you know what I'm going to do? Probably going to maybe record a YouTube video. Okay. That is a one-to-many group setting. All right. And all of those things are ways that I am fulfilling, but I'm fulfilling so that I can be leveraged. And the reason why that is so important is because if it's not so that you guys can go to Starbucks all day and go on 14 vacations a year. And I mean, all that stuff is cool and that's great. And if you want to do that, more power to you. But it's so that you could stay in business. And I just want to remind you guys, I want to use today as a reminder episode that the only way you're going to stay in business is if there are more people that know about you than everybody else, and that you are able to convey the problems that they're having and solutions to those problems better than anybody else. That is it. There's nothing more to this than that. That is the primary thing that is going to keep you in business. And so if you are so busy fulfilling and you're spending 90% of your time taking care of your customers and you're saying, I don't have time to market. I don't have time to sell. I don't have time to go to this workshop. I don't have time to do a webinar. That means that your business model is not set up right. It is broken. It is broken. And it's broken not because you're not making money from people, but it's not giving you the opportunity for you to be able to do the other things that you need to do in business so that opportunities can come your way. You guys, one of the things I tell my clients all the time is that I truly believe, like yesterday was Sunday, okay, as I'm recording this on a Monday, but yesterday was a Sunday and we were at church, right? And at the end of every church service, whether you go to church or you don't, okay, like this is pretty much happens in probably about 90% of churches, okay? There's like, they give you the opportunity to be prayed for, okay? Usually they'll do like an altar calls. You know, some churches, they all, vary in how they do things, but they basically say, hey, like, does anybody need anything to specifically have prayed for? Okay. So maybe you have, a big, biopsy coming up. Maybe you have some back problems. Maybe you're dealing with some marital stuff. Maybe you're dealing with some kid stuff, whatever. Okay. And I believe this is what I've had to train my brain. I believe that there are people right now that are at that prayer session and they're going up to be prayed for something that you can solve for them, but they just don't know you exist. And so you can't be the vessel that they need because you're not doing the things that you need to do in your business so that they even know that, hey, I exist. That problem you have, I can solve it. That problem you have, you want it to be handled in this particular, like I can manage that for you. But most people don't know you exist. And that's a reason why you're going to go out of business. And I say that to you because I did a training on Saturday at noon Eastern. And most people are like, oh my God, why would you do a training at noon Eastern? Because I could, because I'm not burned out from what I did Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's because my Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday existed of, at least last week, it existed of 0, like 1-to-1 sessions with people. It was 0, 1 to, it was a few 1-to-many, but it was 0, 1-to-1. So I felt good. I could do it on Saturday. I can do it on Thursday. I can do it on a Wednesday. It's fine because I understand that fulfillment should only be about 5 to 10% of what it is that I do. Whereas for most people, fulfillment is 90 to 95% of what it is that they do. And so you don't have time to be able to say, you know what, I'm going to bring in new prospects. I'm going to give stuff for free. I'm going to turn what I'm doing into a mission. I'm going to help people for free in what it is that I'm doing. And here's what they're going to do for me in return. I'm going to give them this information for free. But what they're going to do is they're going to either sign up or they're not going to sign up for what it is that I have. And then as I am giving this, I'm going to create dialogue with these people so I can find out where they're at. I can find out what questions they have. I can find out what things are resonating with them, what things aren't. They're giving me the ability for me to deliver the message even better. So I'm getting something from them. I'm getting something from them that is so much more valuable than money, at least initially. They are allowing me to perfect my message. They're also telling me if the thing that I'm offering, based on them signing up or not signing up, is something that they want. These are things that you have to do in order to have your business grow, thrive, and prosper. You've got to do this stuff. And if you don't do it, like eventually it's going to come crashing down. And that's the reason why this is so important. So guys, I want you to just think about like, what is it that you're doing and how are you serving? And are you serving in a way to where 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 hours of your week is you actually giving people the value that you're charging them for? If so, you've got it set up wrong. You have it set up wrong. And there is a way for you to be able to change that and put it into a model that's going to allow people to be able to come into your world and get value from you. And you don't always have to physically be there. So you can work on getting more awareness. You can work on getting people to pay you with their attention and show interest in what it is that you have, so that you can get people to consider what it is that you're saying and then move from consideration to having full intention on moving their life forward. And then when they have full intention, that you can show up when they're in that evaluative process of like, hey, you know what? I think I'm considering working with someone. Is it going to be you? Maybe it'll be somebody else. But when they are ready, that you're there for them to evaluate you. And then they become a customer. But these are all the things that you have to do in order for that to happen. So I just want to use today as a reminder. Don't mind my dog. I want to use today as a reminder that this is so important for you all to do. And if you don't do it, you're going to go out of business. Like you're going to go out of business. And as the economy tightens up, it's not that people won't spend. It's just that they're just a little bit more mindful of who they're going to give their money to. And if you're not serving people and helping people, like without them having to give you money, you're probably going to go out of business. It's just a matter of not if, it's just a matter of when. I just want to remind you guys of that today. Okay. And figure it out. On the next episode, I'm actually going to show you an opportunity that happened because of that training that I did that has led to tens of thousands of dollars for someone and tens of thousands of dollars for me. But that would not have happened if I didn't just show up and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to use this Saturday just to give to people and just help them out. And you never know who's on it. So anyways, I hope this helps you guys. I hope it serves you. I hope you all have an amazing week. By the way, if you didn't get to see the training, just go and text us, 813-534-6453. Just text, give me the AI replay. I'm from the podcast, okay? AI replay podcast, and we'll send it out to you. But it was a really good training. I taught people how to clone themselves as a clinician, 3 different ways they can do it, how they can create systems from the stuff that they know. They don't have to figure it all out. Oh my gosh, it was really, really awesome. People loved it. So if you didn't get to see it, just text us, 813-534-6453. Text us, I want the AI replay, and my team will send it to you. All right? You guys have a good one. Let's go.